Yo, one of my subs sent in a video for me to react to, and it's about Ali Carter making some claims about Jaguar Wright. You know I had to react to it. Shout out to the Urban R for the video. Let's get into it.
Jaguar Wright, girl, if you don't go sit your motherfucking psycho ass down, and I don't believe nothing that bitch say. I don't believe she say. Y'all believe it because you don't know. If I didn't know no better, I think that bitch was fed. Hey, Jaguar, you forgot this? You forgot this, Jaguar? You over there running your motherfucking mouth, but you been at everybody's shit. That means you a snitch, bitch. She's annoying. She's annoying. And I don't trust this.
Hold on, not Ali Carter going from exposing the industry with Jaguar to now accusing Jaguar of profiting off of Diddy's victims and even trying to rig the trial. Child, at this point, it's safe to say no one can be trusted. Not even Jaguar Wright, who claims to be an industry whistleblower. Ali just came through with receipts that will have you side-eyeing the hell out of Miss Jaguar Wright. Jaguar used to actually be one of the few people who were writing for Ali and defending her when people were calling her crazy, but Ali, on the other hand, has never felt the same about Jaguar, and she hasn't held back from making everyone know. Not too long ago, she and Jaguar got into it after she accused Jaguar of receiving money to control the narrative around Diddy. People were shocked by this because, if anything, you'd expect them to ride for each other. And now some of y'all might not know this, but Jaguar was actually present during the first day of Diddy's trial. And she came through with her own security just in case any of Diddy's people tried to attack her. She said the reason Diddy wasn't busted years ago is because the authorities didn't look into him when they were investigating R. Kelly. According to Jaguar, they are closely connected. And if the cops had looked into Diddy too, he would have been in jail right when R. Kelly was put in there.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things, and what I will say is be vigilant. We're getting started.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that.
This case that happened in the R. Kelly case, because if that had been properly addressed, this would have been addressed back then. These people have been working together, all in cahoots for all of this time, and it needs to all be addressed. I'm glad it's not just me anymore. I'm glad it's someone else. I'm glad there are other people who need to be heard. I'll be sure. I'm glad they're hearing him, Cassie. I'm glad they're hearing her, Kim Porter. Through, I'll be sure. I'm glad, Natanya Rubin. I'm glad. All of these things. So yeah, it's mixed emotions, but I just know when you pray for something and God answers it, you should be happy.
But according to Ali, Jaguar is just a fraud, and she only went to court that day to rig the case and make it about her instead of making it about the victims, specifically the children. She said Jaguar was getting paid by the industry to fabricate these things so that she could help them take down specific people. According to Ali, she's the only true whistleblower left because Jaguar was already bought off a long time ago. When Ali said this, it took people a while to understand what she was trying to say, because for the longest time, we've only known Jaguar to be a truth teller. So for Ali to now turn around and accuse Jaguar of receiving payments was definitely not on our bingo cards. However, people looked into it and they found out that there was some truth in what Ali was saying. You see, unlike Jaguar, Ali isn't interested in sensationalizing herself and making the case more about her than the victims. Ali has always made the victims, especially the children, the focus of her videos. Unlike Jaguar, who spirals off into a whole different topic whenever she speaks. For example, Ali was the first one to spill the tea about Diddy's infamous all-black party when she claims it involved Diddy and his associates touching on kids, specifically black kids. It turns out that the reason this party was called all black wasn't because everyone was black. Oh no. It was because the children who were going to be sacrificed and forced into those wild freak-offs were mostly black kids that had either been kidnapped or shipped into the country as part of Diddy's ring. Ali said she knows this because she was forced into one of these parties when she was 15, and she was made to do things with grown men and women.
Not just celebrities, there's a lot of different people. They called it an all-black party, but it was mainly because a lot of the party favors were black kids. I was in the care of Riverside County Child Protective Services at the time. I was 15, barely 16. Things of me that probably don't make sense, but I was a kid. And all of this situation, everything that we're talking about, everything that I've been talking about, I was under the age of 18.
It turns out these kids were kidnapped from the streets, while some were shipped into the country from other states and countries. Can you imagine just how messed up they probably are right now? What's crazier is that Ali also said some of Diddy's associates had a fetish for the douche of kids, and that they would handpick a few of the male kids and deliberately give them foods that would cause them to have some kind of stomach upset, so that they would end up having severe diarrhea during the freak-offs. And as if that wasn't bad enough, they would make these boys lay in their own poo and record it.
Watching an episode called Pig Night, when I went, they tried to feed us, and I remember it because when
Pig
you
Night.
have to do
Say what?
orders, jobs like that, you don't eat. You're not allowed to eat. You actually have to starve yourself, because when you have to do those type of jobs, you can't eat because you will throw up.
Really?
If you are doing, or if you are a guy doing it, you will shit everywhere.
Oh boy.
When this happens, your parents will get mad at you. Really mad at you. And if that is a fetish for someone, they use that to their advantage. So if you throw up on someone, you will have to eat it. If you on someone, you will have to lay in it.
But the freak-offs weren't the only thing they used these black kids for. She alleged that some of them were unalived for satanic rituals, so they can bathe in the red fluid of the kids to retain their youthfulness. The rumors about celebrities using little people for rituals to remain youthful have been going around for a while, and Ali was now giving us all the in-depth details about how it really happened. But it didn't end there, y'all. Ali said these people were also made to indulge in BDSM activities with animals, while Diddy recorded and touched himself. Apparently, they tied and hung them up in metal chains while these rituals were being performed. Ali didn't specify exactly where the rituals were happening, but she said she witnessed all these things herself while working in the industry, and most of these kids didn't make it out alive. And the few ones who did definitely didn't come out the same as before.
Graphic. But right now, I think a lot of people are not ready for someone to tell you that there are 3-4-year-olds that people take pride in sticking bars up children. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs race them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang children upside down in satanic ritual abuse meetings, and they literally hang them.
Wow. I don't know what to say, man. I'm shook. How do y'all feel about it? You know, like I said, shout out to the Urban Noire. I think that's how you pronounce it, for the footage. You know, Ali dropped some truth bombs. Y'all know Diddy just got found not guilty of 3 of the 5 charges. And it didn't get as deep as this. So I wonder kind of what the hold is. Like, why wasn't he arrested behind stuff like this that she's talking about? Or is this not exposed as far as that goes? I'm not for sure, because he was in there for trafficking, some other stuff like that, but they didn't talk about any type of ritualistic stuff throughout the trial. It was only, to me, the abuse, you know, blah, 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 whatever. But how do you guys feel about it? Leave it in the comment section, and let's get this video out. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and let's get it out to the world. Allie really is, she's a little bit deeper than Jag as far as detail. You feel what I'm saying? And do you believe her? Do you believe what Allie's saying? Leave it in the comment section. Let's get back to the video.
Literally, by metal prongs, they hang them to get blood dripping out of them, and people go up under and like you're under a rainfall to take their blood. There are situations that I don't think people are ready for. We're not touching the seriousness of trafficking. Like the videos that I've made, the videos that I've started to make, this is not even touching. This is the gist of it, and I think so many people are quick to raise a sign and say adrenochrome, but you don't know what it means, and you don't know why it's such a thing, why it's such a strong thing in trafficking, and what makes it so strong. What, you know that they're drinking children's blood, but you don't know what they're doing to those children to make their blood strong enough to cause something to flip your system in order to keep you in the fountain of youth. No one believes that because it sounds like an unreal horror Disney movie that someone wrote. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of is. Now, considering the fact that Jaguar and Allie are both focused on exposing the industry every chance they get, people thought they would join forces to go in on the industry even more, but Allie wasn't having it. Jaguar, on the other hand, was initially on Allie's side when Allie first popped out, and she was one of the people who spoke in defense of Allie. But as I said, Allie didn't care because she was convinced that Jaguar was being paid off to do the things she does.
Allie Carter being silenced.
I'm sure she is. I hope it's not my fault. I made an outcry to her that I'm willing to talk to her.
Goes into witness protection. We'll never see her again. Allie Carter, wherever she is, she's safe right where she is. I can tell you right now, the second that you put your life in the government's hands.
I almost feel like I think Allie done popped up since then. I don't know, but let's continue.
You're up for grabs. Because all it takes is one corrupt government official who's been paid very well to handle up on you, and then all of a sudden, leave Allie Carter alone. And leave me alone. Do you know what a score that would be for the Illuminati if they could get me and Allie Carter together at the same time?
Allie claims Jaguar has been secretly threatening her ever since people started to listen to her as well. She claims that she was initially confused by this because they are both seeking to expose the truth. So she didn't get why Jaguar would be pressed about her getting more attention. At the end of the day, they were both seeking the same thing. That was when she pieced everything together and realized that Jaguar didn't actually care about the victims. This was a clout game for her.
Getting a lot of threats. A lot. Mainly from big kitties. Here, kitty.
But this was just the start, y'all, because she went off on Jaguar for apparently being a fraud and receiving a bunch of money to come on the internet and say the things she says. She said Jaguar is a paid mole who has wrapped herself up in truth-telling clothing to deceive people into thinking she's a truth teller, when she's really just another manufactured liar that has been given the platform to mislead us.
So many wolves in truth teller clothing. Here, kitty. Kitty.
According to Ali, Jaguar is profiting off of the pain of people while convincing folks that she's the good guy. She said Jaguar pops out whenever her money is running dry to make these outlandish claims. And then once people start tuning in to know more, she starts demanding to get paid before she says the rest. Ali claims that if Jaguar was really all about the truth, she wouldn't need to get paid before exposing the industry. She would just go ahead and do it, especially since the lives of children are at stake.
Thing with those wolves in truth teller clothing. They want you to give them a Patreon subscription fee, all the money, and I think people have got into this mindset of if I want the truth, I have to pay money for it. For waiver from the children, a lot. How many times do they tell you about the children? How many times do they tell you to get up for the children? How many times do they call you to action for the children? How many times do they not waiver from the children unless it's trending? When do they talk about the children? Do they only talk about it when it's trending? If they're talking about trending, do they talk about the children? Here, kitty. I don't believe in panthers. I believe in a kitty. I know. I've lived with them. I've dealt with them. So I know how they work. If they don't get their way, they point fingers. When they don't get their way, they pull things like Jay-Z pulled when he all of a sudden he don't know that.
But of course, y'all already know Jaguar wasn't gonna sit back while Ali dragged her for filth like this without saying a word. She went on live and gave Ali a strong warning to stop using her for clout because she wasn't the one or two. She said if Ali keeps going with this, she'll drag it on with her till the very end.
Don't clout chase me. Even if it is for your protection. I am not Lamisha Fuller. I'm not running around lying on you, trying to convince people you got stuff. Do I want any arms to befall you? Absolutely not. But if you're looking for protection.
Jaguar later jumped on another interview in which she went off on Ali again. She said unlike Ali, she actually has receipts for the things she says. She doesn't just talk out of thin air.
Yet everywhere I point and tell people to go look, they found something that was hidden, thrown down in the algorithm, sitting right there online, right in front of their very faces. I don't really have much feeling about stupidity. It's just stupidity. What do you mean coming? It's always been here. People have chosen to ignore it. Things are about to get real and they're not going to be able to ignore it anymore. That's all.
Ali is clearly not messing with Jaguar at all, and it doesn't look like she's gonna stop coming for her. One person said, "Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm with Jaguar on this one because sis has definitely called a lot of things way before it happened. So I think it's fair for us to give her credit for that." Another person said, "I believe Ali Carter. She's not doing this for profit or because she's clout chasing. She's genuinely concerned and is begging for the safety of those children. Her life is unstable. She has to keep moving because her life is at risk or in jeopardy. This is not for profits for her." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Ali accusing Jaguar of being a fraud? And do y'all think Jaguar was trying to rig the trial?
I speak in fair use for criticism, critiquing, and educational purposes. How do you feel about this situation? Do you think that it's accurate? Like, whose side are you on as far as the whistleblowers, Ali Carter or Jaguar Wright? Leave it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. I'm going to reply to everybody's comment with something to let you know that I see you. You feel what I'm saying? This is the KMHP TV YouTube channel. Subscribe to us. Hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted. I go by the name of Kaotic 1, and this is KMHP TV, baby. Till the next video, I'm mahalo. Peace.